Welcome back to another buy or invest. This time around, I have Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. If you're watching this video and wanted to get the SSP Tohru that comes from the trial deck, you may be too late. What this video series looks to do is go over my thoughts on a set. I figure out how much I want to buy for my own personal collection and how much extra product I want to buy for investment purposes. My disclaimer to that is I want to keep all of the sealed product, all the trial decks, all the booster boxes to myself. That way I can grow old and take a look back at this fun anime. As always, these are reflections on long-term investing and not short-term sort of price increases, decreases, flipping, anything like that, because this set definitely is going to have some of that with the trial deck, okay? I'm going to do things a bit differently. Normally, I start out with the booster boxes. This time, I'm going to go over the trial deck because all of you, well, actually not all of you, the majority of you are more interested in the trial deck versus the actual booster box. I will also bring up prices earlier on in the video than later in the video. Okay, so this set comes out on November 18th, 2022. This trial deck is going to impress a lot of people because you can see the numbers. Total 20 types of normal cards, but what's this? 20 types of parallel. And what that actually means is 1 super special rare, 2 overframe rare, 16 triple rare, 1 super rare. Should remind you a little bit of Holo Live in the sense that we have parallels out the wazoo on this one. And this time around, there is no voice actor signatures. What you will be seeing is the manga author, which I am not going to attempt to pronounce. Don't hate me, I just don't want to mess it up. The big thing with this one is, will Tohru be censored? I will be talking about that a little bit later. As you can see here, this is your SSP from the trial deck. It does have interesting art, amazing art. People do want this. This is really expensive on Japan's side. And you can tell why. I mean, people want the boobas. There you go. There it is, all the way out there. This is one of those sets that are going to have images like this across the board, from trial deck to booster box. And then you're going to see some in a bunch of different slots, right? And all the different card rarities, you're going to see something like this. Most people assume that this set would have been censored. At this point, nothing from Weiss Schwarz. So inside of there, again, is OFRs. Here is your OFR. I'm going to go over the case drops as well, but these cards look really nice. And here are your triple rares. I forgot these are some of the ones that I picked out just because there are 20 triple rares. I'm not going to show them all in this nice full version, but you can see here they got other cards going on. So trial deck is very interesting on how that's going to go. I mean, I already know how this is going to go for trial decks. It's going to be ugly, but the cards look good. But the pricing wise is going to be ugly. Okay, so drop rates. This is the more important part, right? So you've all been here for a while, but there are always new people. So let me explain this. Drop rates inside of a case, a big brown box. You are going to see 8 displays of 6 trial decks, or in the end, that's going to be 48 trial decks. The drop rates look like this. 1 SSP per case of 48 trial decks. And I put a little asterisk. I didn't put it on the screen, but there is an asterisk. This is what we saw with Japan trial deck release. It can always change for English, so if these are wrong, don't blame me. Blame our concept of the Japanese rate should apply over to English, okay? So as of right now, as I understand it, SSP 1 per case of 48 trial decks. OFR 1 per case of 48 trial decks. Keep in mind, there are 2 OFRs, so you're going to need 2 cases on average to get both OFRs, which makes them pretty rare. The triple rare, there is 46 per case of 48 trial decks. So you should see 1 triple rare in every one of them. That's what I saw. Some people wrote most of the time. And I'm like, don't know what that really means, but for me, I assume that means triple rare should be in every one of them outside of the SSP and the OFR one. Again, your mileage may vary, and also there's always that chance of production errors. So yada yada yada. You will get one SR per trial deck, right? So that'll be every time. That'll be that front card always in the beginning. Okay, so this is what you can expect to see again. I put that disclaimer. If it changes on us, that's just how it's going to be. But this is my understanding of how it looked. These are 8 displays of Dragon Maid that I have mocked up here for you. I pulled out my trial deck and then I took a picture of it, and this is what it looks like. So when you go and open these things, you'll see, like I said, that SR, but you'll see triple rares in every one of them. This is a representation of how this could potentially look. And as you can see, there is one SSP and one OFR on the diagram. The big problem with this is once someone pulls that really, really expensive SSP, which I'm going to show you the price, there is no other reason to continue opening. Yeah, you could say go for the OFR, but if you look at the prices and then having to open a bunch of trial decks, is that really worth it? Most of the time, no, right? There's some expensive triple rares, but you're probably going to be losing money if you keep opening trial decks. So what you're going to find out there in the world, there is a high likelihood that once someone pulls that SSP, they will sell the rest off, which means you will be able to find trial decks that are sealed. You're going to be able to find displays that are sealed that have no possibility of getting this Tohru card. So if you want it, that's what I meant earlier by your chances of actually getting it are definitely lower. So hopefully you bought from somebody that you could see with your own eyes opening that big brown case, and then you can actually buy from there, because outside of that, there's every reason not to tell people that the Tohru has not been pulled, okay? Just think that through. I mean, I know people, this is like one of those topics on its own, but a store, a shop, a seller has every reason not to tell people. And it's not their fault, right? It stinks that if a Tohru gets pulled on, like, let's say number 1, why should they have to, let's say, hold the bag on the rest of the trial decks? It's not really fair. Realistically, this should be something that's changed by Bushiroad in the end. You know, there should be an opportunity, a real opportunity to pull an SSP in every trial deck, and not just this fake illusion that we have. Okay, so here we go. Here are the prices. As you can see, this comes from Yuyutei. Again, with Yuyutei, I will say this because some people don't understand this part is this is in yen. As you can see, the dollar has been on a tear. It's growing more powerful, and the exchange rate on yen is definitely in our benefit. Okay, so if you want to do the exchange rate, feel free. But again, if you buy off Yuyutei, there's taxes you have to go through somebody, yada yada yada. So I always do 1 for 1. I know people say that's crazy, but it's a lot easier for me when I budget to get the 1 for 1, because then I know this is the max price I'm going to pay for something. All right, so you can see Tohru 1 left, 138,000 yen. Apply whatever mathematics to that number that you want. We also have the 2 OFRs, both sold out. So remember, if it's sold out, it's going to be higher than that price. They do not update that price. So you can see Tohru over there and Kanna both gone. And like I said, they're rare if you think about 1 OFR per case. With the trial decks, you're going to get these triple rares. The triple rares do not exist in the booster box. So every one of these that you're staring at all belong to the actual trial deck. And like I said, there's some nice ones on there. I showed it, and you can see a bunch are sold out. There's one right there, the one with the pull side, all of them together, 1780. Okay, so there is some actual trial deck cards worth getting, and you're going to see them here. So the Tohru right there, 500 yen for the pull side Temptation. This trial deck is definitely worth buying if you want to play with it. You're going to want 2 of these. So again, taking it in whatever form that you want it. Do you want to buy someone's dead trial decks, which they might be selling for $5, $8, $10? Or do you want to take a shot at the Tohru or the OFR or a really nice triple rare, then buy it sealed? But again, make sure if you are attempting to buy the Tohru that you buy from someone that you can actually see. Again, this whole trusted stuff, it doesn't really work for me. Again, I don't want to explain that, but I don't really believe in all of that. So just moving on. Booster box. Inside of this one, we got 100 types of normal cards and more than normal amounts of parallel. We got 61 types of parallel. You will be seeing 3 super special rare, 8 overframe rare, 50 Maid Dragon rare, and 10 double rare. So the double rare side, pretty normal. Again, we got 10. You will not get any voice actors signatures inside of this one either. You're going to be getting the manga author, as you saw with the trial deck. The drop rates for this, as I have seen, is 1 SSP per case, 3 OFR per case, and 2 MDRs per booster box. So you can see that 50 Maid Dragon rares. There's a whole lot of them, so they're giving you 2 in each one of them. And realistically, all that's doing is that's replacing the super rares and the triple rares, right? Because normally you're going to see at least 1 super rare or 1 triple rare, or sometimes you get 2. So MDRs are just a way to actually replace those 2 rarities. Okay, here are your SSPs. Very nice looking, very nice. It's definitely different without the voice actor signature on here, but still pretty cool. I like the card art on that. We have your OFR. I was trying to pick some nice ones here for you. So OFRs on here, yeah, they're all. I think the majority of the OFRs were like in a poolside. Miss Kobayashi was in a swimsuit as well. So, and here are your MDRs. I wanted to show this one. This is the one that really caught my eye and as people like it. For the most part, you're going to see 2 different art styles when it comes to whatever regular rarity that there is, and then the MDR. So really, really cool looking. It pops out at you when you put them side by side. For majority of them, there was some where it's just like a zoom in on it, but a lot of them had different art to go with. So here you go. Like this Tohru, the uncommon one on the left, and the right one, you have her saying some things, which I cannot read, but but you can see how it's different, and apply some actual foil of that, and it looks neat. Outside of what's happening on these cards, I do like the different, let's say, action shot that's happening, right? Just standing there, boom, shirt rips and all that stuff, and even her, I guess, tights. Yeah, her tights ripped too, jeans ripped too as well, now that I'm looking. And then we also have this one as well, same idea going on there. So it's pretty cool to have that different side by side. I know with SRs and triple rares, sometimes you get like a bit of a different scene. I just thought this was neat that you have all these different like things going on the MDR. So really, really cool art. Interested to see how much these go for when it comes to these slots again, because English is definitely on the more, I'm going to pay more for naughty shots. That's just how it is versus what happens in Japan. So price wise, when it comes to SSPs, same idea here. You could see the Tohru 100. Oh, these are so hard. 19,800 yen. I was about to say $198, but 19,800 yen. You could see Kanna and also Miss Kobayashi sold out. So what is the max on that one? Maybe 200, right? If Tohru is going to be at 198, why not slam 200 for the other 2, right? Okay, so OFRs, as you can see, that's what I was saying. You can see majority of them were like some sort of poolside thing going on there. I definitely like the Kanna in the what is that, inner tube over there. And some of these are pretty expensive. You can see the Tohru 59.80. What other one's good? Kanna, yeah, the one with the inner tube there. We got 39.80. I love going to water parks, by the way. I like going down the lazy river. So uh, I I just want to do that. It'd be nice. Anyways, a side note here. That was a side note. But yeah, these OFRs, a lot of the value of the box's EV is going to hinge on this one and the double rares. We'll see how that goes. MDRs really low, and this follows the same tracking of, let's say, R's and triple rares. I mean, they took the place of them, so it makes sense that they kind of have the same kind of pricing. There is 50 of them. Think when you wonder what's going to happen to them, all you got to do is bring up Quintessential Quintuplets 2, take a look at the SRs, and it gives you like a pretty good idea about what's about to happen here. So here are the rest of them. Again, there's 50, there's a lot. I might make those videos that I do about like all the cards in the set because I really want to see the MBRs compared to their different lower rarities. I think that was really cool. All right, there is a tournament store PR pack as always. I have given up all hope that there is going to be some sort of consistency on the handing out, the delivery of these actual cards. It is never going to happen where people are going to hand it out, right? So tournament store PR pack, there are your 4 PRs. They are shiny versions of their booster box ones. Each pack will contain 1 of 4 special foil packs. One pack, you get 1 pack for buying Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid booster box. You shouldn't get any for buying any trial decks. And it does say limit 5 per person. So that's been attached to a few of the set releases that have come out. And not to be a stickler here, not that I want to say people shouldn't get more, but it's all in the sense of people actually getting PR packs because some people are getting them. So again, I've seen some stores still actually, stores/sellers still sell these PR packs when they should not be able to do so. I mean, maybe if they buy them for themselves and they sell it through a store, maybe, but I've seen that happen. I've seen people give out 10 of these PR packs for buying a case. One, obviously it says limit 5 per person, so that is totally incorrect. I just want everybody to have a shot at it, so obviously handing it out incorrectly is not letting people actually get some of these. So we'll see. I really lost all hope, my faith in them. Maybe they change it, maybe they don't. I don't know how they can do it any better. Just because maybe they don't have the time, the resources, or I don't want to say care, but at this point it's been a long time. I mean, you still have people selling PR cards on TCG Player and eBay. Sellers and stores doing that, and there's no crackdown on that I've seen. Okay, and here are your promos that come from the booster box, just showing the pricing. The Tohru obviously is the highest one on the left, 500 yen. We'll see how that translates into the shiny card PR foil thing, but if you look back at some of the ones that have come out, they're just slightly above what you see the normal booster box ones. So going back to this, will Tohru be censored? At this point, I think it's a no. Yesterday, what we got on October 24th, we got a thank you for your continued support of Weiss Schwarz. Due to a production error, I think when people saw this without reading it, they assumed that meant that Tohru would be censored. It is not. They're talking about the Tournament Store Assist PR pack, the stuff that we just talked about. These are silver packs, and if you flip them over before opening it, because apparently some people read this stuff, you will see they mislabeled the card. I even tried to figure out what they were talking about before too, because I didn't have a pack in front of me. So they actually write out the cards that are inside of the PR pack, the possibility of getting those cards anyways. So there's a listing of them. On there, I looked at my Quince 2 one, and I guess they just printed the wrong one on there, but in fact, you will get the correct ones. So the reason why I bring this up, why I don't think Tohru will be censored, is because they came out with that. They came out with this statement. I would think, knowing Bushiroad, Weiss Schwarz knows that this is the card people want. That was like the big question that came out. I talked about it on my video. I know other people came out there and asked on Twitter to Weiss Schwarz, will this set be censored? More specifically, will this card be censored? And they said they'd let us know when they get more information. When you take a look at this thing right here, this PR pack, this thing, that means this thing is printed, right? Like we're 1 month away, less than 1 month away from this release, and they haven't said anything about censoring that I've seen. Maybe they wrote more out there on Twitter, I don't know, but I can't imagine that they would do a bait and switch and say, "Oh, by the way, your Tohru that everybody paid for and bought many, many, many cases of, yeah, this thing got censored. So sorry, we'll let you know again next time." That would be messed up. It'd be interesting, but really, really messed up. I don't know what you even do with that if that actually turns out that way. So, next thing I do is take a look into the following. What we got here is the manga. This is rated 7.97 by 12,598 users, ranked 750, popularity 364, members 40,000. So a little bit low on that side. And I made sure to include the manga just because we are getting the manga author signature. When it comes to the anime, anyways, 7.98, 683,000 users, ranked 603, popularity 105, 1.125 million users. And this is a pretty decent score. I don't say decent. I mean, you can see the ranking, you can see the popularity, so pretty solid, but not like higher tier kind of stuff, but still strong enough. I mean, definitely strong enough to say 4-star popularity. I know a lot of people are really excited about this set, so if you want to check out the actual power level of this stuff or want to find out some decks, you want to go out there on YouTube and just check it out. This is what I did when I searched Dragon Maid, Weiss Schwarz deck profile review, blah blah blah. This is what I got. I got ClimaxCombo, so check out that video. PGH Weiss Schwarz, of course, is always doing trial decks and the entire set review. That was a lot of fun. They were very impressed by the dragons being very blessed. Kanna wasn't, but you know, she's growing. She's growing. And then we have Platinum Point, Global 5, and Takuto Phamy. Hopefully I said your name right, but check out those videos. Support your other YouTube creators and check it out. Maybe, again, if you're one of those filthy investors, maybe you check out their videos and buy up certain cards. That's if anybody wants to play this set, which is not very strong. Okay, so here are your double rares. That's what I said. There's two sides to this equation, right? We all know. You need the collectors, maybe even investors, and then you also need players to support this. What you're going to see on Yuyutei is the remaining amount has that big 0. It's not a 0. I guess it's like a O, a circle. It's a circle. I'm going with circle here. That means they have a big supply. So big of a supply, they don't have to write a number. So big one is, let's see, Miss Kobayashi. She's 1480. But thinking about that, knowing if you watch those videos that the set isn't the greatest, it's mid. Everybody will tell you it's mid. It has, every dog has their day, and well, I guess every dragon has their day, and they can win. But you're not going to see this in tournament play unless someone is really, really super confident or just doing it for fun. So we've seen with prior sets that the double rares have been hurting, and because of that, that means player aren't buying it, which if you're trying to flip the stuff, this means play sets get really, really low because some people don't want it until somebody goes in there on TCG Player and buy hundreds of copies of the card. That's been happening. Just check out Quince 2. You'll see. And maybe Attack on Titan or something like that. But anyways, I digress. So, double rares. So my main things with this is OFRs and double rares. Those are going to be your wild card slots on if this thing holds value. If people are willing to buy this, if people are willing to play this. To me, I see this set as a collector set, and with some little bits here and there playing outside of that, I don't really see this. Following, we have 4 stars on the following. Meta Strength. Like I said, people have been saying it's okay. You don't really see this in Japanese play. Right, so meta strength 2.5. If you ask another person, they may say 3 out of 4, but I'm going with 2.5 because I can't see it showing up in tournament play, like I said. Okay, this actually went on to 2 different things because there was so much going on this. This is a mid-power set. You're going to see dead trial decks everywhere. I started with the negatives first because I like getting the bad stuff out of the way and hearing the good stuff in the end. So here you are. There's going to be dead trial decks everywhere. Right, like what I showed you on that screen with 46 triple rares, and then an OFR and an SSP. You're going to find sealed stuff. You're going to find stuff that's already opened. You're going to find closed or unopened displays, and you need to definitely question it. So I have no issues because when I go and buy my stuff, I know where I'm getting it from and all of that stuff, that it's not going to be dead. Whether I buy a whole case, I mean, a whole case is guaranteed basically. But, you know, when I buy singles of booster boxes or trial decks or something, I know it's going to be okay. I'm not going through that whole Hollow Live opening the bottom of the stuff kind of deal. I know I'm going to be all right where I buy it from. Booster box EV, it seems scary to me, right? Like inside of a case, you're getting one SSP, three OFR. Again, this may change with the English release. This is what I've seen. And then two MDR a box. So going back, thinking about all the different values that I've talked about, the screens that I've showed you, there are no voice actress signatures. Again, I put up the anime, it had a huge following, right? But you're not getting any of the voice actresses. There are only 5 MDRs over 1,000 yen. There are 50 of these things. Even though you're getting 2 a box, you know, your shot at this is pretty low. Double rares on Yuyutei are fully stocked, so price in English when it comes out should be below that. We've seen that with other sets at this point. That's what I've said. The ratio is broken. When it comes to the higher up collectible cards, the thought used to be it's like 1.5 times, 2 times. That thing is broken. I mean, maybe on the cards that on Yuyutei are like 3,000 yen, something like that. Okay, you could say maybe there's a little bit of a multiplier there, right? But when it comes to the higher up ones, like the Tohru at 138,000, do you really think it's going to be that price when it comes out? Uh, so many people got advance notice. I told everybody, if you want this card, buy a case. Pre-order that case when that first happened. Don't be caught off guard like you did with the Roxy. So I seen where a lot of people bought lots of cases of this stuff to get multiple copies of the Tohru. There's going to be a lot out there, more so than the Roxy. We'll see where it lands. I mean, maybe people want to keep them all. I don't know. OFRs can potentially save it. I don't think so, but would could. I will tell you, I did this late last night. I'm recording this in the morning. Yeah, that was a note to myself that one can hope. We've seen with OFRs, also with like these fancy, I guess MDRs. I'm trying to figure out an equivalent to that. You know, SRs and triple rares. But if you're MDRs, there's only 5 over 1,000. You have no voice actress signatures. Your OFR, you got to hopefully carries you through on the values side of all this. And when I go back there and look, you see a lot has been sold on Yuyutei. I don't know if it's enough to say it's going to save the EV over the overall case, and that's what I'm going for here. The overall case, looking at the booster box EV, I don't know if that can save it, but you can hope if you're on the sell side of this. Do you believe people bought heavy during pre-orders of the booster box? I've heard some people actually bought booster boxes thinking that Tohru SSP, the one that's in the trial deck, was actually in the booster box. So we'll see how that plays out on the actual supply side of it. I think this stuff was still at a point where, like pre-recession or maybe a little bit into the recession, that people may have pre-ordered this, so there may be a decent supply. It looks like people are really excited for it. Positives on this. Oh, I love that Tohru. Look at her giving the heart. Giving the heart with her hands. I love that. We got a strong following. There is lovely card art. I can't imagine they censor it now along those lines, just because it's way too late to do that. I would definitely say if they come out and say, oh yeah, by the way, it's censored with less than a month ago, they deserve a decent amount of hate for it. Again, I'm not saying do anything crazy or anything like that. It's just messed up that pre-order stuff months ahead of time. You know it's censored, and then 3 weeks before you actually deliver it, you go, oh, by the way, the cards that you really wanted, yeah, they're not gonna look like that. that'd be messed up. TD Tohru SSP will hold some value just because people love the art, and the regular the regular version of that that's in the TD is actually playable. So if you actually wanted a max rarity deck on that, people will have to buy 4 of these suckers. But again, hopefully you bought a case of this. That was going to, in everybody's mind right now, that's going to be the cheapest way to get it. There's going to be people that are going to try to sell this for $1,000 when they bought a case for like $700, $800, right? The 2 MDRs in the booster box just feels like a nice thing. I know when people are opening Hololive and got multiple shinies inside of a box, really happy about that. The MDR is great as well because, as I showed you, they have like the different art going on there. It's not just always like a zoomed in version or the same exact version of the card. So final thoughts here. You're definitely going to want to buy 2 trial decks. Depending on your budget or your realistic vision on how it's going to go, you may want to buy dead trial decks because you may be able to pick them up for $5, $8, $10. Like I said, you could buy a sealed version. Just make sure you know who you're getting it from. Ideally, you want to be there when they actually open the case and be like, okay, let me buy that one. So when people do those opening videos, it's always interesting because it's one of those ones where, if you say where you got it from and they only had one case, you're literally telling everybody don't buy from here, right? Like if I go to XY store and buy one of theirs and I pull the SSP Tohru and they only had one case, 148 trial deck box, you're telling the world that by the way, it's gone and I got it. So if they have anything extra, you're not really doing them a favor. It really stinks actually for that to actually happen that way. So the other thing that you can do if you need the trial deck, you can just buy the singles. You don't need every card from the trial deck. So just target the ones that you need. I think if Tohru ends up at $5 for an actual single, then maybe you should probably just buy a dead one, right? If you could get it for $5, $8, and the Tohru is like $3, $4, $5, then it makes all the sense in the world. You might as well buy the trial deck and have all the actual cards for this set. Where I land on all of this, Ms. Kobayashi is a fine anime. I like it. I definitely love the interaction between Tohru and Ms. Kobayashi, and I love Kanna. Just totally cute. But in the end, with everything going on, right? I don't like the fact that I don't get voice actress signatures. I really don't like that. The booster box EV and the short term is very scary to me. Long term should be okay. I think it should do fine. But then I take a look at, what is that one? Osaka. And I take a look at that and say, you know what? The value, the strength being bought there, not very high. I mean, Weiss Schwarz is a different kind of game, different kind of group of people, a larger pool, I would imagine, over Osaka. But there wasn't a huge amount of like value growth on that one. And again, that's still short term, but still, it scares me. And I definitely don't like the fact that the trial decks could definitely be dead. Long term wise, people can question that. There's this whole thing about, will people buy singles, or are they going to always be looking for displays and cases? And honestly, I don't believe that. I have so much data staring at this week after week that says people are still going to buy sealed versions outside of an actual case, and they will continue doing so because of price point and just maybe lack of knowledge, or they don't care. They're willing to take the gamble. So it's definitely worth getting. I bought a bunch for my personal collection. I bought a teensy bit for investment purposes. Again, you're probably going to look along the lines of trial deck, but the trial deck are basically gone, right? The places that I've had it that I've seen don't have cases of it. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 people that may have a case still, but what you're going to find is you're going to just be buying into displays or singles. So again, make sure to watch out. If this set ends up on the Bushiroad Global Online Store, that's normally where bad sets go to like get pushed off, I would think. Or not, maybe not bad sets, wrong word. extra supply gets pushed off. But if this ends up on there, that is another shot to actually get an unmapped or not dead trial deck. So keep on the lookout for the Bushiroad Global online store. I will do my best to let you know on Twitter if I do see any of that stuff. They just put up the Hololive Premium booster box up again. So as always, here's my contact info. If you need me, feel free to email me there, Twitter me there. That's I've been using a little bit more. And then lastly, TCG player link is shown down below. As always with that, proceeds from that, money from that is going to be used for monthly giveaways. When it comes to the monthly giveaway, I've actually postponed that. I'm going to roll the October, November, and December numbers into one giant holiday giveaway so that more and more people can win it versus, you know, the little bit of that we have for monthly ones. So it'll go back to normal eventually, but I really want to do that for the holidays. I also have, I just want to shout this one out. Thank you, Audrey, for joining the channel member community. I didn't have that officially out there. I haven't done an official notice of it, but thank you, Audrey, for signing up for that. Money that is made there will go back to buy streaming equipment or better equipment for making videos. That's what I'm going to be doing with that. Really hope to do in real life stuff one day. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I do have potentially another Pokemon video coming out. But that is everything for updates here. So like I said, feel free to reach out. I did have my anime list. It's weird saying my twice in a row. My anime list on here. I couldn't find it, so it's missing. It's not that I didn't want to show you, but it's just not here right now. But feel free, if any of the things in the video you have questions, comments, or saying that I'm completely wrong about, feel free to write that in the video comments as well. So good luck out there for anybody that wants to attempt at getting that SSP Tohru. Good luck to anybody that wants to get some of those fancy OFRs or MDRs. I would say SSP, but they're not, I guess they're expensive. Yeah, good luck with your SSP. But make sure just to enjoy this stuff. I know there's some times where I like hate talking about the actual pricing of this stuff because, you know, going back to your roots, when you bought Weiss Schwarz, well, some people did you buy it for money reasons? Or did you like it because you like the card art, you like the anime, you like the idea of playing this stuff, right? So even though I talk about the meta and all that, I do like to see people actually play some of the not so great sets. I think it's just fun to see the variety and breadth of IPs that are out there in Weiss Schwarz. So have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.